host, Farah, and I have a very special guest on today. We have Doris, who is a healthcare attorney, and we're going to be talking about what nurses need to know before they get into business. So, Doris, thank you so much for coming onto the show, and please introduce yourself for all the viewers out there.
Farah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to be on your amazing show. Hi, I'm Doris Dike. I'm a Texas healthcare attorney. Um, yes, I help nurses and healthcare entrepreneurs, nurses, doctors, just providers really start healthcare businesses or just with other healthcare regulatory issues that come up within their career span because some people want to start businesses and some people want to just keep their job, but in a good way.
Right. So regulatory things. So we're going to get into a lot of different topics in entrepreneurship and business and healthcare. And there's going to be opportunities for you guys out there to also ask questions. So we'll take those questions as they come up. So can you tell them, Doris, how did you kind of start? Like, what made you decide to go into healthcare? Uh, to be an attorney in healthcare.
So I have a family of physicians. My older sister is a year older than me, is a doctor. My younger sister, who's immediately younger than me, is a doctor. And my parents wanted me to be a doctor, and I always wanted to be a lawyer. So we kind of met in the middle. My first degree is in health administration, and then I fought with my parents, like I really, really, really want to go to law school. This is what I really want to do. And I just did it. But I thought, when I saw my sister go into med school and just kind of go through the process, I'm like, wow, law school is a lot of work, but med school is a lot of work too.
Right.
I just kind of learned about all these other issues that just happen in just the hospital or just a healthcare setting. And I just thought it made sense to marry my health administration background with law because there's just so many legal issues that come up. So
Right. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. Say hello to some of the people coming on. There's somebody, it's here, it says LinkedIn user. I'm not sure who that person is, but thanks for joining. Let us know where you're joining from, what city, what country. And if you have any questions related to entrepreneurship, and I know someone has a question coming up. Hi, Nadia. Thank you for coming on. And we have Michelle Miller. Thank you for joining. And then we also have Tony Roncola. She says, can you help with trademarks for businesses?
absolutely. And I'm a firm believer in spending some time and trademarking any business, especially healthcare businesses, right? As more healthcare businesses start, you see a lot of people have similar names. And when you're starting your business, that's like your brand identity.
Right.
So you need to invest. And sometimes, people don't want to, and I get it. Nobody wants to spend the extra money. You've already spent money to start your business, but you do need to invest in a trademark to protect your brand because your brand at the end of the day is the biggest calling card. You might do an amazing job and build this business up and you want to sell it, right?
Mhm.
You're selling the entity, but it's also the name, the image, the idea. You want to trademark that so you give your business more value, right? And you want to protect the name. So if somebody has your name in another state, it's going to be less valuable and it's not going to be trademarkable. So then you can't really, protect that. So yes, trademarks, I do trademarks in every state. So yes, I would love to help.
And let them know, Doris, where can they find your information if they'd like to reach out to you?
Yes, you can reach out to me at the dklawg.com or schedule a consultation at dorismeet.com. So, yes, but I'm a big believer in uh, nurses and healthcare entrepreneurs trademarking their brand because it's just really important.
Tony, let us know in the chat box what type of business you have. Just curious to know. And also, I wanted to let you guys know out there. So, again, for those of you who are just joining for the first time, my name's Farah, and I got to speak at the National Nurses and Business Association, the NNBA, at the conference, and that's how we kind of got connected. Doris and I. She had you were exhibiting there, right, as
Yes,
well.
I was exhibiting there, and Farah was giving this amazing speech about leaving nursing on the clinical end and starting her own consulting business. And she had such first, her speech was amazing. So everybody check out Farah speaking because she was amazing. And she just had a lot of great points just on entrepreneurship. And she and I were just messaging after that because we kind of followed the same people, a lot of similar philosophies. So yeah, that's where we met in Vegas.
And if you guys are interested, you should definitely join the NNBA. And I wish we had more time to actually connect there, but maybe next year we'll be there.
Yeah,
it'll be in Florida next year. So definitely a good organization for nurses looking to go into business or that want to grow their business, because there's so many great people in the network, and you don't necessarily even have to be a nurse to go. It's a lot of amazing people there. So I wanted to say hello, and if you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat. So Tony, we have some people from California. Michelle, I believe, is from Florida. Thank you for joining. And she says, let's talk. And can you put her link in the chat? Yes, we will definitely do that. I work in financial services, curing broke nurses. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And then we have Monica. She says you are both inspirational. Thank you so much, Monica. And then what is the NNBA? So the NNBA stands for the National Nurses and Business Association. And basically, it's a bunch of different nurses. You can exhibit there as well at the conference. And it really provides resources for nurses in terms of how to start your business. And you can connect with other nurse entrepreneurs or other people in the business that can help your business grow. So it's a good organization to be a part of. And then we have Shri. Hey, Shri. Thank you for coming. She's a video marketer, and she just got a LinkedIn, like one of the best video marketers. I worked with her in the past. So let us know if you have any questions specific to business. And Doris, while they're doing that, what type of nurses are coming to you specifically, and what have you seen kind of blow up in terms of business? I know consulting is big, but I know other things like IV hydration and med spas. So talk to us a little bit about where you think a lot of the nurses have been coming to you and what businesses are really booming right now in terms of businesses.
I will say that all types of nurses have been coming, and I understand why. I mean, you're in a very stressful work environment and you want to leave and have some type of autonomy. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. But I really think, and what I really liked about the NNBA is that they highlighted a lot of different types of businesses, because it's run the gamut. Home healthcare is always a really, really big thing that has booming. Med spas, IV hydration, all those things have been, people just have a desire to use their skills in a way that they can control their destiny. And, we want to give them a chance to do that.
Yeah, because that's what I found when I was at the NNBA. I talked to a lot of different nurses. Probably half of the people that were there were just thinking about different ideas of what they kind of want to start, and are still working and still transitioning to see what it is that they really want to get into. So one big area that I think is easy for nurses to get into is really consulting. I think that is an easy transition because you're experts in the area that you're in, and it's an easy transition to consult for organizations or even consult for other nurses. So like I said earlier, I'm a nurse career coach, and then I'm also just now helping other nurses who want to start their own business kind of as a business mentor. And Doris really kind of helps from that aspect of legally what are some of the things that you kind of need to think of. But I wanted to just shamelessly promote my book, Nurses Making Money Moves. So I just came out in the summer. So if you're interested in getting the book, this is a workbook, and it goes through how to do a business plan, how to market, and different tips for nurses and entrepreneurial mindset, how to make money, all that type of stuff. So it's on my website, nursefarah.com. I'll drop the link later. But Doris, I wanted to talk to you about resources for nurses. Where can they kind of learn about, more resources on things to do before they start a business?
Ooh, you know what? I'm actually a firm believer in people talking to people like you. Because when you come to me, I kind of need you to know what you want to do. Actually, before this call, I had a call with someone who wasn't a nurse, it was
Right.
another healthcare professional, and they were just throwing ideas. I'm like, okay, we need to focus. What type of business do you want to start? I can tell you what to do on the regulatory side and how we can set things up, but you got to tell me what you want to do because, you know, it's a waste of my time really for us just to be like spinning wheels. So talking to you to understand, okay, this is the type of business, this is my skill set, this is what I like to do, this is how much money that your business wants to, like, you think your business can make, because at the end of the day you're putting your resources behind something. You need to plan out as to how much revenue this can actually make. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time, because with this person, she had a really big goal to start a different type of business, but she didn't have the revenue to do that at this time. So she was like, okay, I could start another business to make money, to start, you know, to save up and use that money to start this business. I'm like, okay, that's fine. What is that going to be? Like, you kind of have to, you have to do the research and do that stuff. So I kind of think I'm going to put the shameless plug back on you. They need to get with you. They need to get with someone to really sit down and plan that out. Because when they meet with any attorney, um, they kind of need to be ready. Okay, this is what I want to do so that we can move you forward and start. Because there's a lot of stuff that you can find on the internet.
Right.
Sometimes you just sit down and take your friends to lunch and ask them, hey, you have a business? If it's a good friend, how much is a business making? How did you get started? What, you know, you don't have to tell them, ask them like everything, but you do need to know if it's a type of business you'd like to start, how much money they can expect to make, things like that, so that they feel comfortable moving forward to the next step, right? Because, you know, you have to have the desire to do what you want to do, but I can't tell you what you want to do.
Exactly. You bring up some great points, and thanks for, for shouting me out. Definitely, I think just even if you're making a career move or if you're trying to start a business, even if it's consulting or coaching, um, I think a lot of nurses are afraid, and that's what we learned at the NNBA, and they need a lot of clarity, as you just mentioned. They're not really clear as to what they want to do. So that's something I definitely help my clients with, is help them find that clarity and to really find that purpose as to like what it is that you really want to do. Because some businesses might look good on paper, or, just, oh, let me start that. But they may not understand the amount of work that goes into it, especially if you're working full time and you're trying to also launch a business. You need to think about that, right? And how that's going to grow and how you can scale it. But that's why I say consulting and coaching is an easy transition if you're trying to get out from that bedside or from your full time job to get something going. And then you creating passive income is another way. So there's different things, like you can create digital courses, for example. um, you can write a book, like I just wrote a book, self-published a book. There are so many different things you can do, but Doris talked about something that's very important, is really coaching, whether you have to invest in yourself and actually pay for coaching, or whether you use me or someone else. It's very important to invest in yourself and in your business, and to learn from the type of people that you want to aspire to be. So if you want a med spa, you probably should speak to somebody who already owns a med spa, like Doris was saying, because they're going to give you the blueprint to how to get there.
Yeah.
So I definitely can help you with, the clarity part, how to do a business plan, how to register your business, those types of basic things, and then how to brand, which is a big part of it, right? Branding and actually marketing yourself, because if you don't market and you're not on social media, nobody's going to know about you. So what are your thoughts on marketing, and getting
Well,
out there and being visible?
one of the things that I'm gonna go that part, but I want to say one thing. I think the lack of clarity is also might be tied to a lack of belief. I am a believer now that any business can be a multi-million dollar business, any business. So if you believe that you can do it, then you can go find the blueprint to get there. Because with social media, with all these other avenues, if you can get your marketing right, there are enough people that want what you have for you to be able to do what you want to do. So if it's a consultant, if it's a coach, if it's a med spa, if it's whatever, if it's a freaking what's it called? There's like a vending machine business, because those businesses apparently make $1 million. There are so many types of businesses that make a million. So yes, but now pivoting to social media, I'm a firm believer in putting yourself out there. Just, sometimes you're like, oh, I got to put on makeup, or I don't like my hair. Just do it, and letting your market tell you. Like, you can make like 3 or 4 videos on 3 or 4 things, and the video that does the best, you should do more videos on that. And then say, oh, okay, you want to start a consulting business? Okay, well, I talked about this in consulting and this in consulting and this thing. Okay, people really like this video. I might be able to start a business around this topic because this is the interest that people are telling me.
Yeah, that's a great point because um like I talk about all the time, right? It's if you're getting into business, you're providing solutions for someone's problem, right? Whether it's on a macro level, like organizational, that you're solving issues, or whether it's something a little bit smaller. Like what I do is help nurses with career guidance. And a lot of my clients are nursing students and new graduate nurses that don't know kind of what direction, again, providing clarity to them. And I think it's the same way for any nurse that wants to start their own business. I can help direct them into like which way they should go. Um, but like you said, I was very hesitant in the beginning. I had LinkedIn for a long time, never used it, and just used it for job searching. But as we know today, right, it's the most trusted website, and there's millions of people that are huge decision makers, that can help with business to business, or marketing for consumers. So I think you touched upon that already, the importance of being visible and marketing your business. So I wanted to take a question from Michelle. So Michelle Miller, BSN, says, where is a good place to start if I want to start with short videos on social media for nursing students? So this is a good question. So I always say find out where your people are, right? Find out where they are. But typically, because I do videos for nursing students as well, I think LinkedIn is a good place because they're there also looking for jobs, especially seniors, or potentially TikTok or Instagram, because a lot of the younger nurses, they're on those platforms. But really, any of those three would be good. But I would say speak to nursing students and ask them, hey, where do you mostly hang out on social media? And kind of go from there. Do you have thoughts there for that?
Yes, I was going to 100% agree. But if my target is nursing students, I would try to start talking to nursing schools to see if they would like you to come speak to their nursing students, because that way you have people who are hungry for what you offer, and they can give, you can test your talk in front of them, and then see if you can get some clients that way, and there you can start your consulting business. So now you've got to learn to be more creative, I think, in trying to launch businesses, not necessarily spending more money, but being creative.
Yeah, and that's a good point you bring up, because that's actually one of my goals as well, is to start kind of networking more, going to more conferences and connecting, like you said, with nursing schools, to go and speak to students, or and then see what really is out there, because there's a big issue with nursing students getting out of school and transitioning, even just to find careers. Um, and they have difficulty because a lot of their focus is just passing their board exam, and they don't really help them with those professional skills that they need, especially some of them have never had jobs.
Hmm.
For those who have jobs, they have some type of a sense of how it is to go into the workforce, but some of them don't know. So to be a new nurse and then start dealing with other things like how to communicate with the healthcare team, can be overwhelming. So those are some good points that you mentioned there, Doris. Let's see what else. Nursing schools almost always say yes to speakers. All right, I guess I got to start reaching out to more nursing schools. So I wanted to just ask, what is one of the biggest services that you provide? Like one of the top services that you're really busy with that you
Just
get.
business startup.
Okay.
um we're always getting people who want to start new nursing or other types of healthcare businesses, so that's one of the main things that we do. But then we also get a lot of regulatory issues, nursing board issues, medical board issues that come up. Unfortunately, those things happen, and we have to take them seriously because I'm excited for you to start your business, but also I'm a big regulatory compliance girl. I've worked in regulatory compliance for a long time, and I really want to make sure that people keep their licenses. So people don't always like what I say, but I'm like, this is the law. This is what it is. This is all we can do. Please, 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 because I'm thinking about how much money, time, and effort you've invested into getting your license. Let's keep it.
So can you talk a little bit about, because you're in Texas currently, right? And
Mhm.
state to state, the laws are very different for different businesses. So are you currently only working with businesses in Texas, or are you doing national?
It really depends. I mostly work with Texans, but I have clients in several other states. So yes.
Okay. And then are the laws really that different from state to state? Because I know I've
Yes.
talked to, like, for
Yes.
med spas, it's very different.
But it's for everything, it's different,
Right.
right? Because it's really based on your state legislators. So, I always say don't get mad at the attorney. Go beat up on your state legislators to go advocate for yourself. Because yes, they are very, very different and they want different things. So what I might tell somebody in New York is not what I'm telling somebody in Texas because I understand there are just different laws. And even with other things, not just with like starting a med spa, but with just with other things, well, even with your licensure stuff and what someone might be willing to let go of in Texas, they might be a real stickler in another state. It just is what it is.
Right. Just for like anything else, really, it's very different. Even just in practicing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scope of practice, it's
Mm-hmm.
very different. So I'm going to take another question from Michelle. I already teach, and my students are asking for me to make content. How do I capitalize on these videos? So that's a good question. Um, there might be the one thing I'd say is you also have to be careful with conflict of interest, depending where you work and kind of what you're, because if you're teaching nursing students, um, they probably, they can't be your clients because that would be a conflict of interest. But in terms of capitalizing on videos, to me, I think probably YouTube is probably where you could probably uh, create, and monetize, or even having a podcast and things like that. But what are your thoughts on that, Doris?
So I haven't been successful in making money off any of my videos. I think the monetization thing is a long-term game. Like you have to really be churning it out. And again, you're just letting because some videos do really good and some videos do really bad. And I don't think, okay, LinkedIn is a bad place to monetize videos. I think YouTube probably is a better place. But even then, it takes a long, long time to really see the monetization of the videos. You might do better creating videos and literally selling the video and creating like a video series that you sell versus trying to monetize them on these platforms.
Right. So as we kind of touched base on before, digital products are very big. So there's a nurse actually. I don't remember her full name. Her name's Stephanie Beggs, but I think she made like $2 million on creating nursing student study guides,
Mhm.
and she's now turned it into this big business. But if you're interested in creating digital products or information for students, I would say really it's about creating value and giving back, and then maybe they'll come on as clients. But really creating digital products is probably where you need to go. But we should definitely touch base if you're interested. um, Message me, direct message me, and we could talk more about that. But those are some good questions. But yes, YouTube, I would say probably. But you're right, Doris, it takes some time. But
Long time.
consistency is really the biggest thing. You'd have to, some of these people are creating content every day.
Yeah, but if we're thinking about consistency,
Mhm.
and you have another job, I think a digital project would be faster, right?
Right?
Just
Yeah.
kind of make the product, market, like I pay ads, I put some ads on there and then sell it and go from there because that way you make money and you're not having to do something every day because you have a job.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you create passive income. Literally, but again, they're not going to know about these digital products if you're not out there promoting, marketing, and doing all these different things. So I can't believe we have a few more minutes. So if you guys have any more questions related to how to start a business, what you should know before you start a business, definitely put them in the comments. But Doris, what would be your top tips for anyone in healthcare or specifically nurses? What should they do before they start their business? What should they do and what they should know?
Okay. Um, First, you need to know what business you want to start. That's number one. You have to have a plan, because otherwise you're going to fail. You need a plan, because your lawyer, your business coach, we only can do so much. You have to have a plan and desire to want it. Two, you've got to have some capital saved up. Okay. Sometimes I talk to people who are just not realistic about how much cash it really does take to start a business. It's not impossible, but you need to have more than like a couple $1,000, because website, insurance, the legal fees, the taxes, all that costs money. So you need to, I always tell people, if they really are serious, you have a job, save some money, save it, save it, save it, save it. So that when you're ready to launch, you launch it correctly. You don't have to have an amazing website, but you got to have a website. So that's number two, is that you've got to really save for this. If you can get a loan, get a loan. Because the one thing I'll say is, I think that if you do your business right, your business can be to financial freedom for you to quit the job, right? So you have to be willing to believe in yourself and make the investment to get what you need. And don't skimp out on things that you really need. Like, if you need to find a good business coach like Farah, who can help you, give you direction. You need to get a good lawyer. You need to do your taxes. You got to do those things. Otherwise, you're not going to be in business that long anyway. You're going to make money and then have to shut down. So those are the things that you kind of need to be successful. And if not, it just won't be. Because I do get people who've started businesses and then they come to me like, oh my gosh, this thing happened with my business and I need help right now. And their pants are on fire because the regulators are at their door and we're trying to fix things and come up with reasons as to why they did something the way that they did. I had a client, who's not a nurse, but started a non-emergency ambulatory service business. Great business, was doing really well, but things aren't in place. I mean, they're gonna come to your door, and you got to start fixing things. So, you know, that fee is way more expensive than the fee to start it the right way first. So, we were able
Yeah.
to solve that problem, but yeah, that becomes real expensive.
Yeah, so really, essentially, like we kind of both talked about, is investing, right? Investing in yourself for professional development and growth, and then investing back into your business, and getting people that are experts to help you, Doris, that can help you with the legal aspects, or really, and I'll tell you quickly, like for the website, you need to do your research and get somebody who really knows what they're doing and can walk you through the steps, not to just, there's a lot of scams out there, because, kind of happened to me. And, you don't want to invest in a website and then it's not the way you want it to be or whatever it is, because it's a representation of you and your business. So again, like I said, if you want to learn more, just some basic things on how to start a business, get the book. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Nurses Making Money Moves, a guide to starting a business. And then Doris, if you want to tell them again the website to reach you, or they could direct message you on LinkedIn.
Yes, I'm gonna put if I can put my stuff in the chat.
See if it works, because I was going to type it in. Yeah.
Okay.
And then just to wrap up, let me see if it works.
It says private chat.
Oh, yeah, it didn't. Let me see if I can do it on here. But either way, if we don't, meet.com. Okay, I could type it in. DorisMeet.com. And then this is my website, nursefair.com. And then dklawg.com, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And then if you happen to be watching the replay, you could put hashtag replay. Any questions that you may have, put them in the comments, and then I'll go back and take a look at them. And again, I wanted to say thank you to everybody that joined. Oh, what did Tony say? She's scheduled.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll definitely have to have you back on again, Doris. I feel like time flew.
This was like such a fun conversation. This was just regular talking. I loved it.
Awesome. Yes. And I'm sure the viewers will have more questions of the people watching the replay. So maybe in a few months, we'll have you back
Absolutely.
um, on again. So thank you again for coming. And again, if you want to work with Doris, you could definitely contact her. And if you want to work with me, you could direct message me or go to my website, nursefair.com, and you could definitely book there. And then you could get the book as well on the website. And that's pretty much it. So, any last words?
Do it. That's the last words. Okay, like go read an Alex Hormozy or a which one is what's the other person, Farah? I'm trying to think of who else did they read. Just do it. I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
we
the Alan Dibb, the one-page marketing plan. I
oh that's
highly
good. Yeah.
recommend that book. And yes, I actually got that book you're talking about. He just released another book,
Yes.
$100 million leads. I didn't
Please.
start reading it yet.
I read this one. This one is a good one. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up because I literally have here.
$1 million offer. Yes,
It's a good book.
yes,
Because I just think that we live in a time where you just got to do it. You got to believe in yourself. And, maybe I'm being crazy, but if it fails, it fails. At least you bet on yourself one time. Um, because you don't have another life and you should be happy with what you're doing.
right. And like we said, you don't have to have it all figured out right away. A lot of entrepreneurs, they just keep learning as they go, and you have to keep adapting to be able to keep up with like emerging trends, so you could keep your business going, and really just continuously investing in yourself, because that's the only way that you're going to grow. And talking to experts like Doris or myself to help you along the way, because you don't have to do it alone. All right. All right. Thank you again, guys. Thank you, Doris. Just stay on for a minute and then we'll end this right now. Have a great day, guys. Take care.